Greetings, one and all. This is Ascending Energy, of course, for those that don't know who I am. Today, I wanted to come and kind of discuss where I am and what's going on and what my perception is of this shift that we are going through and what that looks like to me, and a little bit of what I'm experiencing, some of my emotions possibly that are coming up, and things of that nature. So I know that I'm not the only light worker out there that is kind of ready, for things to start happening, or has been, is wondering what is going on, why are we not, further along than we are, and things of that nature. And that's kind of where I am right now. I know that everything is unfolding in divine timing, which is perfect, and I know that everything is happening for a reason, and I also know that it feels like to me that well, for me anyway, what I feel for me is that that I seem to be experiencing being in a place of limbo. And when I say limbo, I mean a place of like nothing happening, nothing going on, kind of like a holding pattern, if you will, energetically. And for me in particular, personally, feels like that collectively, the world, it feels like to me that we have been in this limbo place for several months now. It seemed like, for a little while there back in 2012, and maybe in the beginning of 2013, things were kind of moving along fairly well, but it seems like to me that things just kind of stopped, and since that point in time, we've been just kind of hanging around, kind of waiting for things to happen, in this limbo place. And that's not to say that things are not happening, because we're seeing all kinds of truth, coming out in the media, maybe not as far as Fox or CNN or MSNBC or anything like that, but on alternate news sources that actually report real news. Lots of things are going on, like RT News, and The Guardian News, and things like that. Places that actually report factual news. Things are happening. Just as an example of this whole NSA experience, which has basically blown the top off of spying that the U.S. has been doing for quite a while now, apparently, across the entire globe, which just doesn't make any sense to me. If we're going into a place, if we're creating this new earth that is going to be based on love and acceptance and acknowledgement of the divine beings that we are, all that type of energy just doesn't have any place where we are anymore. So So yeah, things are definitely happening, but it feels like to me that they're not necessarily, well, that's not, they are connected to the ascension process per se, um, in a way, and it seems like to me that, of course, this is, a personal experience, and what I experience may not be what you experience, or what your friend experiences, or your neighborhood experiences, as far as going through this process, going through this awakening, um, and whatnot. So, um, and then something else that I know, within my being is that we are individually experiencing, exactly what we need to, uh, in order for us to have the best opportunities for growth that we possibly can. That said, I was ready to, me personally as a light worker, I was ready to ascend into the fifth dimension and be reconnected to my galactic family, if you will, uh, back in 2012. I mean, even before 2012. So, uh, and I'm sure, like I said, I'm not sure that I'm not the only light worker that feels this way. Uh, it just seems like that again, me personally, I feel that something is going on energetically. I can feel it. I can feel it coming, and it feels really, really big, whatever it is. And it feels really, really important, like it's going to be like a world-changing event, literally. I don't know exactly what it is. I can feel it. I can feel it energetically. I'm not getting anything, cognitively to give me any clues about what it is, but I can feel this energy just building. So that's kind of where I am right now, and you know, like you're watching like a Simpsons episode or something, and they're going on a road trip, and Bart is in the back seat, saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" That's kind of how I feel, because it feels like that we have, again, collectively, it seems like, in the circles that I hang out in, and those people that I know that are also aware and are light workers, energy workers, and whatnot, seem to have expected something to have happened already. And according to all the prophecies, if you will, and all of the everything that has been said by the native cultures across the planet, it seems like that something should have already happened. But what we perceive with our with our eyes and our 3D senses, it seems as though nothing, quote unquote, has happened yet. Now, that's not to say that if we as individuals are able to truly, completely release and let go and surrender to this process, to the shift that we're going through, that we won't experience a different level of consciousness, that we won't experience a different dimension, if you will. But it's getting to that level of, you know, releasing all of the limited thought patterns that we have in this 3D realm, and all of those that we have been programmed with over a period of time that we have been here, experiencing this 3D. And I know that's possible. And there's, you know, I've touched on that other dimensional energy several times, you know, while I was meditating and while I was doing breath work and things like that. So I know that it's there. It's just that, again, I expected, as the light worker that I am, that we collectively should have already been there. But I know that the one universal constant that keeps on showing up is change, and especially if we are collectively, you know, recreating the earth in a higher vibration level than where we were, then, you know, along the way there's going to be things that change and shift. So that's, I know that, and that's to be expected. So there's changes that will happen, you know, along the way, that we, as human beings, as spiritual bodies, so spiritual beings, you know, having a human experience, didn't necessarily expect to experience. And of course, you know, something else that I know is this is the first time that a shift, a process, an ascension like this has ever happened. You know, this raising our consciousness level to a different dimension, while retaining these physical bodies and moving up in vibration to that different dimension level, has never happened before. So obviously that there, you know, there will be things that we didn't expect to happen, and that's understandable. So I guess I wanted to come and kind of say, you know, where I am with the whole process of the shift and what we're going through, and ascension, and connecting with our galactic family, and things of that nature. And, you know, some frustration that I feel in my humanness, that we aren't there yet. And my spirit, my higher self, understanding that, and also knowing that, you know, I can touch it anytime I want to. You know, if I really open myself up and just let go of all of the noise from this realm, and allow that dimensional energy to come in. I know that it's there. As I said before, I felt it. You know, I've been there. But as light worker that I am, I fully expected us collectively to already have shifted into that dimension as a group, you know, as the one family that we are. At any rate, it's just what I wanted to come and share a little bit today about, and I know within my inner self, you know, the being that I am, that everything, like I said before, everything is unfolding in divine timing, which is perfect, and that everything will come together as it needs to. So if you are experiencing some of these, you know, frustrating symptoms as well, just know that everything is unfolding as it needs to, and that the timing that we are on is in perfect sync with the the timeline that it needs to be. It's perfect. It may not be easy sometimes, but it's perfect. And of course, for whatever reason, some very brilliant, very high-level light workers have chosen to move along, you know, go to the other side of the veil, like my brother Phoenix that I made the video on earlier, and that's okay, you know. Maybe he was, you know, maybe those light workers are done with their contract and it's time for them to move on. You know, one never knows exactly how things like that unfold or why things like that unfold. So, at any rate, I think that's all I got right now. Just wanted to share that, kind of where I am and what's going on and how I'm feeling about the whole thing, and, you know, wishing we were there already, but also being okay with where we are, and knowing that it is accessible if we open up to that possibility and just allow that energy to come in. It's here. We just have to be open enough to receive it. So I hope everyone is doing the best that they can on this journey, and wherever you are on your path, and I send you all, you know, love and peace and blessings, and hope that everyone is doing what they know how to do in this moment. Namaste.